Hello, everyone, and welcome to the KleioHistory podcast. This is a podcast of horrible design and effort. We're gonna just kind of bullshit, and we're talking about the Korean War, right? We're talking about Korean War.
Oh yes, Korea. Fun
Korea.
topic.
Yeah. So, most of you people think of Korea as a K-pop world where you buy your Samsung TV. But little did you know, close to 70 years ago, it was a backwater shithole run by communists.
Hell yeah. Communism.
This is
I've
awful,
seen a
man.
video. No, this is the point. I've seen a video about the Korean War, There's these guys called KleioHistory, They did a KleioHistory, KleioHistory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
only two parts out because the third part is currently under
Editing is
editing.
hard.
Editing is hard. That's why we're doing something that requires no editing whatsoever.
Okay, our
So we have-
faithful audience.
My,
Yeah.
hold on. I got something to say. You ready?
Yes.
Yes.
My grandfather was in the Korean War.
Was he now?
Yes, he was.
What did he do?
He said all he did was peel potatoes. He said he was a cook.
Oh.
But
Man, the most dangerous man in Korea.
But I know for a fact that he actually did a shit ton of things because he was in the Battle of Pusan. You guys know about that, right?
Yes, we did a video on it.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Yeah, we did do a video
Yeah, this
on it.
is. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
I want to explain to the audience real quick. Okay, we made a whole video series on Korea. We've recorded all three parts. It's done. It's unscripted. It's really difficult to edit completely unscripted content where you have to find a visual for every single train of thought thing we said. Okay, it's our defense. Part 3 will come out eventually. It's hard. Okay, we picked the most annoying possible way. That's why this is a lot easier because we don't have to edit this. We can just record it. We'll edit the audio. Just make sure it syncs up, and then we're done. We get our thoughts out to you a lot easier.
Using my audio when I don't talk.
Yeah,
man, I really love the audience of RC's parents when he's forced to watch this. Also, are we doing names?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Matt. I am the guy who did the intro. We are 3 minutes in, and we're still,
It's okay. Look,
yeah.
I'm RC.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I jumped in front of you. Yeah, I'm RC. I'm the dude. And to my left is the guy I interrupted.
Hi, I'm Christian. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. I am currently a private Twitter account right now, so I will probably not follow you back.
Please.
Just follow the KleioHistory Twitter account. It's where we post all of our updates. The last time we tweeted was in May.
All five of the updates.
Yes, we tweeted in May.
What's the @ for that?
At KleioHistory, spell that KLEIO history.
It's with a K because we love our Ks, ain't that right, K boys?
Korea.
Korea.
There's 3 of us.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Anyways, back to Korea. We promised ourselves we were going to stay on topic. This is Korea.
We did.
Korea.
Okay, so let's start. Let's start in 1945. 1945 is the end of World War II. We made Japan the warmest it'll ever be, and now the war's over. But the Soviet Union declared war on Japan after we dropped the first bomb on Hiroshima, and was basically at war for 2 days. And in that meantime, they got down the Korean Peninsula because, they were all the Japanese Imperial Army was in Japan, ready to defend. So they got to about the 38th parallel. I'm not saying it wrong. I'm nervous.
Yeah, it's the 38th parallel.
Okay. Thanks. Good. Okay.
No, it's the 69th.
I made that
mistake. Anyways, it's okay.
I made that. We'll fix it in post. I made that mistake in the first video, and now I'm paranoid about saying the parallel. So now Koreas are split basically on the 38th parallel, with the United States basically controlling the South and the North being controlled by the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union obviously was setting up their own communist government, and the United States was setting up a democratic, some will say imperialist, other will say democratic government. And they were going to decide on, which Korea was going to...
What?
Evan.
Are you okay? Thanks, Christian.
All
Carry on,
right.
This is the
Okay.
greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
None of that was recorded.
Oh no, it was recorded.
Not by me.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Yeah, but we have an overarching audio on OBS. We're
hell
using for the background knowledge of the pre-production to production of this podcast. I'm recording on Audacity. The other two are recording on their phones, and we're running an overlay on OBS with the thing you'll see on the YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to at KleioHistory.
Yeah, we'll be posting this
and-
on YouTube and everywhere you find podcasts, absolutely everywhere. Like, we're going to be posting it. There's an Indian podcasting website I'm going to be posting on, So if we have any Indian listeners, welcome. My roommate in college was Indian. He was pretty cool.
Okay, anyways, get back to the topic on hand.
No. We're emailing this we're emailing this podcast to the ambassador from South Korea to the United States, and he will listen to it and he will say, "Cool." That's our goal, is to get the. He won't. Okay, so basically they wanted to make the one true Korea, and they couldn't figure out who was going to be the one true Korea, so they were going to hold an election. Turns out running an election between two powers that were once allies but now adversaries because it's the end of World War II and there's no reason to be friends anymore, is a bit difficult.
Talked about this already.
No, I didn't.
We talked about it in the video that's on our YouTube channel. This has been talked about before. Okay? We're just rehashing it on a podcast.
Look, the podcast audience is different from the video audience because you can listen to this while, like...
I mean, it is the same, though. It's just RC's parents and whoever else.
I completely... Okay, so this is for the podcast and not for a video.
Yes.
I see now.
That was the whole thing. Did you not get that?
No, I didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Can
This
we
is the
curse?
greatest podcast
I'm sorry,
in
can we
history.
curse?
Look,
Okay.
Our faithful viewers,
Yes or no?
our faithful viewers will remember from the Quarantine Cast podcast, Christian is the greatest guest host of all time, and he constantly pays attention to what we're doing, and he knows everything. He's actually our production manager.
Yeah. I thought that was our friend of the pod, Kaylee, who actually got a degree in sound design and would probably hate everything about this.
Well, I don't know if she, did she get her degree? I know she technically hasn't graduated.
Hey,
she got it.
Okay,
Anyways,
finally, Haley, if you ever listen to this, Jesus Christ,
Korea. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, this is a history podcast.
Okay, this is a history podcast. Okay, so the Soviets.
So it's okay for you guys to go off topic, but it's not okay for me to go off topic. Okay,
We're all going off topic.
You didn't know it was a podcast until 8 minutes into the podcast. Oh God!
I thought this was an ad read.
We are sponsored by Lean Cuisine, by the way.
Honestly, yeah.
Sponsored by Lean Cuisine again.
Yes.
That
Dude,
what
email
this
them
whole thing
again.
is.
Wait, we emailed Lean Cuisine and they said no, but we're doing it anyway.
They gave a soft maybe, actually. Soft maybe.
Soft maybe.
Yeah. We didn't get a hard no. We got a soft maybe. Anyways, speaking of Lean Cuisine, the Korean War happened, and that's how Lean Cuisine came to be, actually.
Yes. Everything is 5 degrees from Kevin Bacon, but it's 5 degrees from the Korean War. Okay, so the Soviets are leaving North Korea by dumping all of their shit, by making everyone all their troops just leave all their artillery and guns and stuff for a former communist guerrilla fighter who is now communist leader of the one true Korea, Kim Il-sung. Now, Kim Il-sung is obviously gonna totally use those guns for the peace and unity of Korea, and not to start a all-out war that drags a bunch of international powers into a 3-year long brutal conflict that'll kill thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people.
Shit
But
sucked, yo.
so that's going on in North Korea. In South Korea, the Republic of Korea is established, but they receive little to no actual military support from the United States, because the United States is going through a aggressive de-armament. With the use of nuclear weapons, they believe that that's a strong enough deterrent to keep people from actually fucking with the United States, and they have established themselves fairly well in the international scene. So
Wait, what
there's
year is
no
it right
need.
now? What year is it?
It is 1946.
Yeah, so the
So
Soviets still, the U.S. is still the sole nuclear power. That's why it was
yes,
such a strong,
yes.
because they thought, okay, the Soviets aren't going to get nukes for like 15 more years at least. So they were bullying the Soviets. They were just like, hey, if
The
you,
boring part of the Cold War. God
yeah,
damn.
hey, if you do anything, we're going to nuke you. The Soviets
Okay,
like,
let's speed
okay.
this up a bit. Okay, so now, 2 months in, fucking KPA crossed the border and pushed the Korean, like the South Korean army, all the way to Busan. Now we are attacking Busan.
Now,
Oh fuck, Busan's under siege. Oh shit. Oh god, we're gonna
but
die.
there's one man to save them all, and it's Christian's grandfather. He derailed.
Motherfucking grandfather. Sorry,
It,
we can't curse. My grandfather. Just take that out, RC. And
he derailed a train. And he derailed the North Korean advance.
Potatoes
that
is
is
a
true.
slur now.
He did derail a train, but this one that's a different grandfather, Matt. I have two
Oh.
grandfathers. I have more than one grandfather.
You have two grandfathers?
I know. Wow.
Must be nice. Anyways.
All right, so back to 1946, because I did not waste $24,000 to just skip a bunch of bullshit that I know about. So, the United States is going through a massive de-armament because there's no need for a 6 million man army when we just have the atom bomb that can just destroy everything we want.
Atom bomb,
So-
baby, little.
No,
Atom
we're going to
bomb.
get crazy. Yeah, copyright.
Oh fuck!
We're going to get killed.
Oh, shit. Oh god! Oh fuck! God, Jesus!
So, the only troops that really need are occupation troops. So, basically, the entire United States Army in the Pacific is currently just chilling in Japan, watching hentai and having a good time.
As you should.
And the Republic of Korea, who is South Korea, only gets some small arms as aid from the United States, because really, you know, if there was a problem with the Soviets, we'd just nuke them. But then a wonderful thing happened. The Soviets basically got nuclear weapons from us because, you know, we were dumb and had no security whatsoever for our nukes after they were made. So you could basically copy it completely, which is what they did. And now the Soviets are also a nuclear power.
Okay, I'll fight you on that.
How did our top scientists go from Tom Watson to Yuri Gagarin?
Fight you on that. They had moles in the Manhattan Project, so they were stealing it while the Americans were building it. It took them a couple years longer, but it wasn't like after. It was just they had people in the Manhattan Project the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But they did basically we gave it to them because we had
Goddamn sneaky communists.
we had
Jesus.
no security whatsoever. So, well, again, for the Soviets. So,
Damn you, Soviet Union.
now we can have situations like, you know, in Berlin and whatnot, but that's not important because we're focused on East Asian history, the history that's ignored. So, now we can't just nuke all the Soviet tanks flying over the border, so we have to come up with new plans, and that is a job for, you know, Harry Truman, and good old Dean Acheson, who was Harry Truman's Secretary of State. So in 1950, he makes a speech outlining the U.S. sphere of influence for the entire world. What? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Every time you bring up this like obscure speech by Harry Dean Acheson, I don't know. When we were making the video, I couldn't even find it anywhere.
I can send it to you.
The only time we laugh is just to make you like feel fucking anxious.
Yeah. I'm not meaning to poke fun. It's just I don't know.
It's an extremely important speech. Okay, everyone forgets about the Korean War and they forget about the speech as well. Okay,
everyone forgets about Harry Dean Acheson too.
It's not Harry. It's Dean Acheson.
Exactly.
There's Harry Truman and Dean Acheson. Yeah. Okay.
Imagine getting named Harry D. Acheson.
Can you imagine being named Dean Acheson and not being British? It's like Lord Acheson.
He also had a mustache. Okay. Also, you don't even know. You can't call my bluff on there because you don't even know what he looks like.
I do know what he looks like because I got pictures of him for the fucking video.
Okay, well, this was an important speech, and the Soviets, well, everyone who was looking at the United States at the time in 1950, who got a hold of this speech, saw the glare. Well, in East Asia at least, saw the glaring missing problem that existed, which is in the U.S. sphere of influence that he outlined, he skipped Korea completely.
Fucking missed Korea.
Yeah, he missed Korea, which is granted not a big deal if you're, the newly established West Germany, but a huge deal if you're the Republic of Korea, and a massive deal if you're Kim Il-sung, who is like, holy shit, that means the United Korea, the one true Korea, is me. So he runs off to the Soviet Union to see Stalin. Stalin is very disinterested in actually meeting with him. Basically brushes him off multiple times, and when he finally gets to sit down with him, is just like, no, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you take the South Korea.
Didn't Stalin like hate Asians?
I mean, out of all the bad things Stalin could do, hating Asians is definitely the top thing he could do, right?
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, hey, I'm just trying to clear it up.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out Harry Dean Acheson's parents were British. That's why he's named British name. Makes sense now. I called him Harry Dean Acheson again. Did you notice that?
I noticed that. Yes, I'm ignoring you.
His name should be Harry. It works a lot better.
Okay. So, Kim Il-sung got a bunch of free equipment from the Soviet Union once. That's all he's getting. But there is a wonderful thing that happened in 1949 that is extremely important to Kim Il-sung, and that is Communist China and Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong basically completed the Chinese Civil War, banishing Chiang Kai-shek off to a little island called Chinese Taipei. Please don't kill me, CCP. And he talks to, Kim Il-sung talks to Mao Zedong, and Mao Zedong's like, go for it, man. If the Koreans, will you have our support with AIDS and whatnot, and the obvious United States won't get involved because clearly they outlined that Korea doesn't matter. So, with that news, Kim Il-sung storms across the 38th parallel and takes Seoul in a day. And by the third day, he's basically pushing, the Republic of Korea army back all the way to Busan. Now, the United States is basically caught with its pants around its ankles.
Yeah, let's go, yeah, oh, shoot, oh!
Daddy Christian.
And the problem that exists is the only troops we have near are in Japan, who are not doing well. Okay, I actually got on my case last time I said this. Physical training, PT, they were not doing it. The army was not ready to roll. The Marine Corps was, well, decently ready to roll because they're freaks who eat crayons and do things.
Hell yeah.
But the completely off guard, and it's time to bail out the Republic of Korea ASAP. So the establishment of the Busan perimeter is formed, with the United States Army moving over, and a situation to basically slow the tide of them getting completely pushed off the peninsula is formed, and that is with a special little task force called Task Force Smith. Now, Task Force Smith did achieve its goal, but took aggressive, heavy casualties, and developed a term that would be used through most of the Korean War called bug out, which is when they were getting encircled. They would basically yell "bug out," and they all basically every man for himself to get themselves out of the situation. But the Republic of Korea was battle fatigued. For the 3 days of combat, was not well supplied, and the Americans were moving in with small arms and very light heavy weapons such as the bazooka, and it really wasn't enough to really push back the armored regiments flying down the Korean Peninsula, but it was enough to basically slow them enough to establish fortified perimeters around Busan.
Okay.
You got dudes with M1s versus dudes with first gen AKs.
we're gonna pause right here. This is my favorite part of the story because we actually used like video in our video for this bit. I don't know if you remember that from it, but we actually found footage of Task Force Smith. We were running it, and it's like, oh man, I'm actually editing. And then we just went back to using still images because it was a lot easier because, video in our video. Who'd have thought? Yeah.
And now we're just redoing it again because basically I'm doing the ad lib thing, trying to remember what I know after a few months of actually not doing any major academic work about the Korean War.
So that's why you got us here. We're all academics here.
Yeah.
You have to guess which ones of us have history degrees and which ones of us don't have history degrees.
Yeah, which one of us have actual history? Have an actual degree?
Wow.
Man, guess who actually has a real adult's professional job, huh?
Oh, just because you barely got one? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, look. Okay. Guys, it's podcast time. You know what that means. It's
what
time
does that
for a
mean?
nice word from our sponsor, Lean Cuisine. Lean Cuisine bringing you their new chicken tortellini frozen meal for $4.99. Healthier than the other options, but still a lot better than starving. You won't lose more weight than if you just don't eat.
We're going to get in trouble for doing all these fake Lean Cuisine ads because we don't actually have a sponsorship. We aren't paid by them, by the way, but we would really like
Not
to.
yet,
so,
yeah.
If you like to sponsor Lean Cuisine, please.
Games Workshop, please sponsor us. Just kidding, you suck, Games Workshop.
Yeah, that's right. You thought we were legit. No, that's right. We're on the boycott bandwagon.
All right. Busan Perimeter, Christian, take it away.
Yep. This is you, buddy.
Okay.
We're right past Task Force Smith. Fill us in on what happens next.
Okay, so basically, there's a good chunk of them. They're getting fucked up. Basically, Busan brought everyone into the fight, and I mean everyone, like medical personnel, like people who shouldn't even be fucking fighting. My grandfather included. I don't know actually what he did, but I do know he killed a fuck ton of people. Because he got decorated. He got a lot of decorations, like marksman and all that.
Like reefs and live, laugh, love signs and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yes, that.
Is this the part where MASH comes in? And it's like, hey guys, I'm John MASH. I run the kitchen on the TV show.
Yeah.
Oh man, my favorite part about Korean War medical tents is they first started using helicopters for medevacs in Korea, and they were just tiny helicopters. They just strap the wounded guys to stretchers on the sides of the helicopters, so they were flying at 90 miles an hour with whirling fucking helicopter blades while you're sitting there bleeding to death outside a helicopter and possibly freezing to death because the air high up is cold and Korea is even colder in the winter. So they probably were not having great times.
Well, it is August, so like, no, it's September. Yeah, so it's getting cold. Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, there are worse ways to go out than just like chilling in a helicopter. Just like, wow, I'm definitely strapped to a helicopter right now. This is a thing that's
And
happening.
not here anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like my bleeding, blood-sucking chest wound is a bit more important.
They just
Yeah,
gave me like
my-
6
my-
gallons of morphine.
But yeah, my grandpa was part of the Second Infantry Division.
Nice.
Hell yeah. So, a fun thing that was done by, well, not fun, but like just the
That's another
the
fun thing.
fun fact. The Marine Corps, if you want to know how meatheadish they actually are, at every hill they took back once they started pushing back from the perimeter, they would raise a
They
flag.
kept raising the fucking flag like
they
Okinawa. It's fucking annoying. Holy shit.
Iwo Jima. They did it at Iwo Jima.
I don't give a
you just
shit.
completely stole his thunder. He was like,
Yeah,
giving us a nice story, and then you're just like, oh, guys.
and it doesn't even get the right World War II battle.
Yeah.
God,
Okinawa,
when we're
are you even American?
you know that
I'm Native
this is.
American, bitch.
Oh.
You know that Okinawa has their own version of like Hawaiian shirts that you can like wear like as formal wear, just as much as you can wear like Hawaiian shirts as like formal wear in Hawaii,
Wouldn't
and
they
they
be
look pretty
Okinawan
cool.
shirts?
Yeah, the Okinawa has like a special cool like linen shirt, and it looks pretty cool.
It's
Honestly,
an Okinawan shirt if
I'd
it's
get
not
an
a Hawaiian
Okinawan
shirt. Because you
Yeah.
said like it's their own version of a Hawaiian shirt, so wouldn't it just be an Okinawan shirt?
That's what
at
I
that
just
point?
said.
Yes.
I just said that.
Oh,
I
okay.
said, wouldn't it be an Okinawan shirt?
Oh.
Well, I needed to.
Well, or
I
see,
needed
I
a
only
way to
listen to
explain
what
it.
I say.
Hell
So-
world.
Anyway, this is the most like we're just two creepy white dudes with bad posture who got history degrees because we're just talking about fucking like battles and
This is
war.
the Clio
And
history way. This is what
Yes.
it was always meant to be.
It is only military history here. You're lucky this is actual like Asian history, even though it's still military history, because really everything else would be solely Eurocentric, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I got a fucking history degree from a major academic institution. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Hey, if
He's
you're at
very
this
proud
point,
of it.
please like and subscribe the video, leave a comment. Also, the podcast. Like that. I don't know how that works. Apple.
We'll do something eventually. There'll be more of this in like a year and a half when RC gets sad because we haven't done anything.
No, we're gonna record these every night. That's right.
We're gonna record these every night.
We're gonna talk about a historical topic every single night. Leave a comment what historical topic we'll talk about next. We know everything.
Or don't.
Fucking,
No, do.
Don't.
mail me $1. I'm not giving you an address. You can figure that out. Just mail it to me.
Just $1, but forward the
yeah.
shipping so that he has to pay the shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Matt.
You know, for the first time in 3 years, Papa John's did not mess up my order tonight. It was incredible.
That's great.
I had a Papa John's pizza, and they didn't fuck up my pizza twice. Because last time I got Papa John's,
Did they get the mushrooms on one side and then and pepperoni on the other?
Yeah, it was great.
Finally, fuck.
Yeah, no, last time, I told you guys about this. Last time, they fucked it up. They gave us just completely the wrong pizza, and then they gave it to us where it was burned and the toppings were on the wrong sides. And now, like, for the first time, it's like, wow, I got a Papa John's pizza. Excellent.
It's mushroom and onions, right? That's what she likes.
Yes, but we just get the mushrooms because most places charge extra for more than 3 toppings. It's mushroom sausage, and I think she likes the onions too, but we don't get those. Because that'd be like 4 toppings, and fuck paying an extra quarter for more toppings, right?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend can't afford to be happy. You can't afford to make your girlfriend any happier.
You're right. Speaking of Papa John, though,
Korea. So,
Papa John fought in Korea. Did you know that? Look
Papa
that
John.
up. That's why he's racist.
Papa John was the nickname of my grandpa in
Papa
Korea.
John.
Papa John.
Did he make pizza?
Papa John Shatner was in Korea. He killed 45 North Korean soldiers outside Seoul. You can't even confirm that. No, you podcast listeners fucking get in contact with Papa John Shatner and confirm that, because you can't fact check me there.
Ask him
I'm
why
right.
Ask him why he killed those women and children in Korea.
But Papa John Shatner must be
his last name
prosecuted
really
for his...
Shatner? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is he William Shatner's son? Is he
No.
related to him?
No, he's not related to William Shatner.
I'm sorry, all white
ingredients.
people have the same last name.
Better ingredients, better child murder. Papa John's.
Papa John Shatner must be prosecuted for his war crimes committed during the Korean War. But too bad Americans are exempt from any being trialed for war crimes in international court. So
honestly, imagine if Olympic ceremony opening day, all the countries go there and line up, and then they just start doing public executions, just in the middle. It's like everyone watches. It's just like, okay, we're gonna execute war criminals now. Everybody's gonna watch. Okay.
Honestly, I'd fucking watch that.
Yeah, it's just like, all right. To bring it in, these guys committed crimes against mankind, so now mankind gets to watch them be executed. All right, now enjoy the games.
We'll watch the 100-meter dash and then watch us kill some weird Serbian dude who killed a bunch of Bosnians.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, Usain Bolt Jr. did a good job this year. He won gold. And it's just like, now it's time to shoot Blezhnev Blachnikov. And they just shoot him.
Sergio Kuzchek gets shot in the face afterwards.
Yeah.
Gets read his final rites. Oh, and he took poison right before he could be shot.
Man. The people in Vegas are sure happy about that. 71 odds on those poison.
Oh, God.
You can't wait till the biopsy is done so we can figure out what poison it was.
The betting markets sure are going to be hot on that one. Anyway, speaking of war crimes, Korea.
Yes, Korea. We were talking about Marines. So the Marines were raising flags on every hill, and we started pushing them back and pushing back aggressive because, okay. So the United States got involved, and then we asked the United Nations to basically form a task force of the United Nations to push North Korea back. And, you're probably thinking, wait, how would that even fly? The Soviet Union is on, the United Nations Security Council. Why would they approve that? Why would they let, the United States basically form a task force to push Kim Il-sung back? And it's just like, it's not because Stalin doesn't like Kim Il-sung. It's because they were pissed off that China, as Mao Zedong, the communist government in China, wasn't going to take Chiang Kai-shek's Chinese Republic's seat in the Security Council as permanent members. So because there was that big objection, the Russians just walked out and they weren't there. So the United States was like, yep, let's just run the vote now. And the Russians weren't there, and then the United Nations was at full war, but really it was the United States. There were British troops, but it was mainly the United States and South Korea.
The British were like, yeah, we're involved.
Yeah, we're involved.
Hey, Luxembourg sent 100 guys.
I'm pretty sure they sent.
Though, so.
I think they sent 40 something.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. So fact check us and email us at www.gofuckyourself.net.
Or comment to us at KleioHistory on Twitter.com.
Yes, please. I want to Twitter fight people.
It was 44, you fucking hack.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
That's right. You already left your comment, loser. That's right. You didn't think I'd fact check, huh?
So Luxembourg gave a third of their fucking
armed forces. Yeah, the Philippines gave 1,500.
Yeah, and the Philippines gave more than Luxembourg. Get fucked, Luxembourg.
Philippines gave more than Belgium.
This is a Philippines Stan account now.
Honestly,
Man, the Philippines and sounding. Everyone likes those.
Yeah. If you get that joke, comment below, please. Send an email.
Because
At-
RC did not get it.
I did not get it, no.
All right. So back to the Korean War. We are not even like past 1950, and we on my recording are at 35
Wait a
minutes.
minute, are you talking about sounding rods? You fucking
Yes!
freak! Holy shit!
Yeah. That was the joke.
You're disgusting.
If you're amused by the fact that Christian made fun of me for not getting the joke while also not understanding the joke, leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
And to RC's parents, I'm so sorry. Don't look that up.
My phone stopped recording audio like 20 minutes ago, by the way. That's
Mine's
why we
still
set
going.
3 different recording situations up.
Mine's
Hell
still
yeah.
going.
Anyways,
Wait, but it's only recording my end.
back to Dean Acheson. So they're in a pretty bad situation right now. The Pusan Printer, you know.
Yeah, but the United Nations is here to save the Republic of Korea, and the United States, who was doing a bunch of legwork with our good old man Douglas MacArthur, is pushing the North Koreans back. And that's partially due to Douglas MacArthur's great skills as general, and also partially to the fact that the North Koreans have ran out of gas for their tanks.
So fans of Dan Carlin's podcast, where he does history podcasts, okay, they'll recognize that when he was doing his Pacific War series, he called Douglas MacArthur the Situation, which I think is a stupid nickname. We're going to go with Douglas Fat Cock MacArthur, because it represents him better.
I thought we were gonna go with. I thought we were gonna go with Papa Baka McDoug.
Baka McDoug. That's not the nickname, that's the cool music video. It's
Oh,
Douglas
okay.
Fat Cock MacArthur.
Okay.
Okay.
You know that's
So,
Dan Carlin.
all right. Even though this is going on and there's horrible war crimes being committed in Korea in our current podcast level, and we've not been on topic this entire time, I'm gonna go pee. So I'm taking a pee break.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
No,
gonna pee.
no. You keep recording. RC, you're in
Yeah, no,
charge.
we're going to keep recording. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing this live.
This is a
I'm
live
back.
show, guys. Okay, he's bringing his camera to the bathroom. All right, so in reality, we should have started further back, see, because the Korean War didn't start at the end of World War II. It started in World War One, you see, because that's how this whole situation came to be, okay? Because how Japan came to power to get Korea and such started with the Imperial Japanese Empire, which started after World War II, when they were more enamored because they'd gotten a bunch of German colonies, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, we got this. Okay, you know, we're cool. We can fuck. That's right. We got industrialization now. We've beaten a major European power. We've beaten the Russians. You know, we had the Russo-Japanese War right before World War One. That's right. We're cool. We're going to start invading China, invading all these places, fighting the U.S. That's how you get to now. That's right. World War One. We can go even further back, though. It's the fucking Franco-Prussian War. That's right. That's how World War One started, because Germany invaded France, and they took all of the Alsace-Lorraine region. Yeah, that's right.
Hold on. Stop naming wars. I'm running out of tabs to open.
All right. Napoleonic Wars. That's right. Look. Okay. Look. Korea. It's a cool peninsula. We're doing our best. It's a complicated topic. History's complicated business, you know. But the thing you got to remember is that at the end of the day, history doesn't affect you in any way. It's all made up. It's not real. History's not real. It's made up. Korean War didn't happen. That's right. Everyone's lying. It's all conspiracy. Yep. Hot take. I'm just waiting because we have to explain about what we were talking about, you know? So I'm just going to be talking about how we were talking about World War One. History's fake. And it's like, okay, Matt, pick up from there. Also, we're in 1952 now. That's where we left off. Anyways, if you guys want, skip to 40 minutes and 55 seconds in if you want to get back to where Matt's back. Just skip to that timestamp in this podcast to skip all of this, okay? That's when we'll be back. Yep. Anyways, so Korea. I don't remember where we left. Oh, it was just the UN was invading. That's right. The U.S. kind of heralded the force because, I mean, most of the world was still recovering after World War II because it's only like 1950, 1951 by this point. And, most places are still pretty fucked. Like, the U.S. is the only real undamaged power. I mean, this whole region is just kind of screwed by war, So they kind of had to bulwark the entire force because this thing was pretty much their idea. They funded it. They did everything. They just wanted, international approval. So it was a justified war because they didn't really have much reason to actually intervene because it was really just a local conflict at the time. This is kind of where you get the whole world police thing going, If you don't count World War II as that, is the U.S. involving in a completely local, like, civil war for no real technical benefit.
Well, okay, but at
They're
the
afraid of
time,
the domino effect that communism would.
both domino effect and also the Republic of Korea was basically a United States puppet at the time. So yeah.
But is the domino effect like an actual reason to go to? Is it okay? We don't want them to have this government. Isn't self-determination a thing?
Yeah. Well, okay. Self-determination is a thing,
Only
but
if you're white, though.
does that exist in 1950?
Yes. Self-determination as a concept came about in 1918 with the end of World War One. That was one of Woodrow Wilson's 14 points that he pledged. That's why all these places started getting independence, especially after World War One, where they were kind of like the Irish and whatnot. Well, the Irish is a whole different thing, but like places like Korea and stuff wanted self-determination.
But
that was the whole Vietnamese War too, where they were like, "Hey."
The thing is America post World War II can be best described as like batshit fucking insane. The amount of ego that went to immediately to the America as a general head after World War II, even though most of the fighting was done by the Soviets, was drastic, and the idea that we're now like the main world power just immediately flew into the head of almost every politician, and we were curtailing, like we were going back to our isolationist style with demilitarization and just using nukes as our deterrence for the protection of the United States, but
Is gonna happen again?
us going back into isolation.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's cool, but we're too far. We are literally like 70, 80 years deep into being America World Police, and we have the United Nations headquarters like in our largest city. So really, we can't. It's hard to go back to isolationism without a massive loss of like just general international respect. Also, it's breaking the culture of being world police and acting as world hegemon is extremely difficult, and the average American now couldn't handle not being hegemon, and the American at that time had the power of being one of the two largest world powers at the time, just went immediately to their head. And that's why, forcing ourselves into Korea is, the only idea. And that's why self-determination's out the window.
Yeah, and there's always going to be a world hegemon. If the U.S. goes back into isolationism, it's just going to be like China or Australia or something, one of the major players.
Man,
is Australia a major player, though?
Or no. New Zealand, one of the three. Hey, Australia's going to be a world superpower by 2022. You watch out.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's already a hellhole. It's getting hotter. They're gonna be fine.
They'll be fine.
I mean, our British listeners who might be the British version of a chud will be like, "Let's have Britain throw their hat back in the ring," and it's a no. You guys lost that when you first fucking decided to get bombed. Frankly, you should have just had one of your soldiers in 1916 kill Hitler and nothing, and you still would have had your empire. But no, you had to have one of your fucking moron, oh, so sorry, drink tea, ooh la la, rain, fucking assholes, not kill him, and now we have these problems, and you guys are stuck on your stupid ass rainy island.
England, everything is the British fault.
Yes.
everything is Britain's fault.
That's
Yes,
great.
British people don't
Tally-ho.
deserve
I think
rights.
Britain
We
should
are
throw its hat back in the circle. Oh, yes. It's time for us to be world. God damn.
They would say that though. That is how they work. Is they make the argument, oh, let's throw our hat back in the ring, and it's just like, no, you guys lost that 70 years ago. You ain't coming back.
Look, you could tell who the world superpower is by what country wins the sport they invented. The British lost soccer, don't count. US won basketball, we count. China lost ping pong, don't count. There you go. Easy as pie. That's how it works.
That's how we determine who rules the world.
Yep. That's how it works. Don't complain to me. I didn't make the rules. I just abide by them. Anyways, so while you're in the bathroom, we got to 1953. So if you want to take the tea from here, Matt.
All right. So we're 1953, basically massive stalemate. The Chinese have about 2 million men committed along the 38th parallel. The United States has about a little less than 100,000. Well, the
That's
UN.
all we need. That's all we need, baby. 100,000 Marines. Yeah.
No, well, I mean it's all UN forces, including the Republic of Korea forces.
100,000 Space Marines. I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic.
Yeah, mainly under control.
Everything is a Warhammer reference. Kill me.
Mainly under control by United States military officers, because Douglas MacArthur's been fired. Have you gotten to the nukes yet? About him wanting to nuke everything. Did you say that?
No.
Okay. Well, Douglas MacArthur got fired because he wanted to. Basically, he was told not to go near the Yalu River, or not to cross the not go near the Yalu River. Really, not to cross the 30th parallel, but especially not go near the Yalu River. And he did anyway, and the Chinese were like, "Hey, no!" and then got involved, and they crossed Yalu River. And
what is the Yalu River?
The Yalu River is the border between Korea and China, and basically, for the Americans here, think of it as the Rio Grande. Imagine a foreign army who is not, really too pro on your form of government, approaching, the Rio Grande, taking over all of Mexico, and you're just like, okay, that's not good. Obviously, you'd want to get involved and not have them right up against you and be a hostile problem. So, China got involved, and the longest retreat in American history happened, even though they don't call it a retreat, but it was a retreat. Fuck you, West Point.
Tactical withdrawal.
Yeah, it was a tactical withdrawal. Oh, I had a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
When the Rio Grande is out of ammo, does it make a ping noise?
Ping.
I'm asking Matthew here. I haven't gotten a response yet.
Anyways, back to the Vietnam War. So at this point, the French have been completely defeated at the Battle of Bien Dien Phu. Okay, and they're pretty much
Remember when the United States was basically like the State Department was making arguments to support Ho Chi Minh up until like the loss at Bien Dien Phu? Like they're just like, hey, the French are like a, not even a worthy cause. We should have supported Ho Chi Minh, and Ho Chi Minh wanted U.S. support in like the United States up until like we got involved.
Honest to God, people talk about the French, and it's like the whole narrative about them like surrendering or whatever, and it's like, well, actually, if you look at the Napoleonic Wars or whatever, the French won all the time, and it's like, okay, well, actually, if you look at the history of the Romans, they won all the time, but then they fucking lost when it mattered. And now they don't exist anymore. Same fucking deal. It's like, oh, you won all the time? Well, you lost when it mattered, You guys didn't exist for a bit.
Imagine Charles de Gaulle being so fucking annoying that he was able to convince the Allied commanders to let him ride into France and say he liberated it, ride into Paris and say he liberated it, and then he becomes fucking president afterwards, and then president in the fucking 60s as well, because he's like, you guys are running it wrong. I'm coming back. And is the main reason Concord is spelled with an E at the end because he wouldn't let the British spell it like the English version. They had to spell it like the French version. Man, Charles de Gaulle, let's go.
France.
Good
nuclear
evening,
power.
gentlemen. Oh, fuck, it's Charles again.
All right.
We just left the meeting, Charles. What the fuck? Why are you in the kitchen?
I like how we just completely jumped like 10 years forward.
Do you think that Charles de Gaulle goes into the fridge, gets out his jelly, and writes an E at the end of the Concorde?
Probably.
Think?
But I don't think he's doing that in his grave right now. But you know,
Fucking no.
man, we're
Anyway.
so also on Charles de Gaulle, the British joined the fucking Concorde project in order to like get in the European like collective market thing that they were doing, which was like the proto EU.
Yeah.
And Charles de Gaulle still used his veto to reject them because, in his opinion, they were Americans.
Yeah, it was like the European Economic Community or whatever. It was basically just
Yeah.
a whole trading pact, essentially. Like,
Yeah.
between like Germany and France and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I took a European history course. Fucking sue me. Worst day of my life.
You know, European history is just, frankly, it's just a bunch of sex and violence, and it's kind of just repeats over and over again.
Yeah. Not like American history.
Oh, you fucked my aunt. Now I'm gonna kill you. It's just like it doesn't make any sense.
I fucked your wife and I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. It's just, come on, dude. Get a better script, honestly.
Get a better script.
Yeah.
Like, at least make up like a fake goal, like Manifest Destiny, and then just use that as your justification to commit your crimes. Don't be like Casus Belli, ooh, your sister, and then do that, because that's just boring.
Then Cass is like, no, I must have her.
And it's just like, Cassius, I'm gonna come on your belly.
You know, British
Oh,
pussies
okay.
like British jokes. It's always dry.
Oof.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. We're a British hate
Man,
count now.
Fuck the British, man.
Fuck the
Man,
British.
we're nearing on an hour, and it's just sex jokes and hate for British. Let's
Anyways,
go.
to all of our British viewers, please like and subscribe the video and leave a comment.
Actually, don't like and unsubscribe.
Actually,
honestly.
dislike it. Yeah, dislike our
Yeah.
video. We don't want your likes.
We don't want your likes. Your likes mean nothing to me. I've seen what you do like.
I will fly to Spindon to poop online, and you can lick my fucking balls. Right there on your fucking high street next to fucking like whatever groceries, like Asda or something. Good, like you can just fucking lick them.
Tesco.
Yeah, lick my balls outside Tesco, you British cunt.
Hell yeah, dude. Why aren't there more slurs for British people? You think about that?
Because they made all of them, and they don't make them for themselves.
Why don't we get on that? Like, we got like limey, but that's kind of like 18th century, you know? Lobsterback.
You lobsterback.
Yeah. She met Damon the other day, had to apologize because, you know, his daughter told him it was not okay to call British people lobsterbacks anymore.
That's really fucking funny.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Afghanistan.
In all seriousness, though, yeah, British people.
Oh man, fucking Afghanistan. The damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, we're leaving. Yeah, it turns out maybe destabilizing a already stable country for 20 years, and then do the whole like break it, buy it, which is what Colin Powell said for Iraq, but we should use that for our Afghanistan as well. Oh my God, yeah, now the Taliban is going to take over and be in charge.
Look, Big Boss had to go to Afghanistan because that's where Skullface had the Metal Gear. Okay, he had to stop
the
his
Metal Gear
plans.
weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Iron Man was in the cave, right?
Actually, I think he was in Iraq.
He was in Iraq.
I think so.
Huh?
No,
Where he built
Iran.
the
I'm pretty sure Iran.
Like, they could have just used one of like the real countries we were at war at.
Honestly, they could.
Honestly, why doesn't Iran win the like 100-meter dash? I mean, the country's literally Iran. It's like, I figured they'd be better at running.
Honestly.
Yeah. Usain Bolt. Come on. Anyways, back to Korea. I lied, Matt. We weren't in 1943 or 1953. We didn't move on at all. We went back to World War One.
Okay. Is that why you came back and you were talking about self-determination and stuff like that?
Yes.
All right. Crash course. U.S. goes up. Truman says, "Don't go further." Douglas MacArthur ignores him, goes further. Douglas MacArthur's just like, "Oh no, I have to reap what I sow." Chinese get involved. Douglas MacArthur is just like, "All right, Harry, I got a plan. We'll just fucking nuke them." And Harry Truman is just like, "No, we aren't doing that." He's like, "What if we do 36 or 38?" I don't exactly remember.
Wow.
So much. Yeah. Oh my god. And this is as if like this is so professional that I can't remember the number. Okay.
Basically, same
Well,
difference.
a lot of nukes, and Harry was just like, you know what? I have a better idea. You're fired. And a stalemate forms on the 38th, around the 38th parallel. It's basically everyone's dug in along a mountain ridge and a river, and it just fucking sucks. It's like just trench warfare, just with more artillery, and the rest of the time is spent up until 1953 of arguing over a peace treaty. Mao Zedong really jacks off the fact that he's bringing the United States to the negotiating table, even the United States doesn't even consider them a real country. And basically, a bunch of people die for no reason because people want the big cock until Dwight D. Eisenhower comes into power and he moves a special B-52 in place that looks like it's carrying a nuclear weapon. And then people are like, okay, well, we'll take this seriously. Ceasefire is signed. Basically, at the heart where they're currently at is establish the border and it's demilitarized. But there ain't a D in this DMZ because it's not demilitarized. It is one of the most heavily militarized area in the entire world. And now we're to today, where the South Koreans went
Where
through
where the South Koreans blast K-pop and Katy Perry at the North Korean border.
Yeah, and they do a bunch of big dick shit where, like, South Korea built a flagpole, we're going to build a bigger flagpole, we're going to build a fake city so people think that, oh, North Korea is so cool. And South Korea is just like, we went through a dictatorship, and now we're a republic, and we have Samsung in K-pop. And North Korea is like, oh, we build statues and drugs.
We have Samsung.
We have
we
Samsung.
have drugs.
We have Samsung Sam.
Samsung Sam. Damn.
And I really like the fucking videos of the tours where they like take journalists. I think it was the Vice one where they take the journalists to the largest like university in like Pyongyang or whatever, and it's like, look at the computer lab. There's just people sitting there just staring at Google, not doing anything, and the one person that they're allowed to talk to is the one guy actually like clicking and doing stuff on the computer that isn't just like, sitting there staring at it. Yeah, and he's just like, look, I'm reading articles that I published and worked with, and it's just like, okay, cool. You just
is that the same one where the dude went to the he was at the hotel with like his tour guides or whatever, and he got like fucking drunk as shit and was just doing karaoke with the tour guides? Is that
I
one?
think so, maybe. Or it might have been the one where they got Dennis Rodman to go with to the fucking basketball event. Or it might be the same one where they got Dennis Rodman to go to the basketball event. And Dennis Rodman shows up at the basketball camp, and Kim Jong-un just fucking shows up. And there's a 40-minute standing ovation where they don't stop cheering because, they're afraid they're going to get fucking shot. And it's like, oh, there's Kim Jong-un. We see him. He's talking to Dennis Rodman right now. Okay, well, wasn't expecting this.
Dennis the Rod Rodman.
Also, Dennis Rodman is like he has to get briefed by like the U.S. State Department and like the CIA and stuff like that, because he's like the only like possible like semi-ambassador the United States could have to North Korea. And they're just like, dude, don't go. But if you do go, can you do all this stuff? And he's like, nah, man, I like chilling with Kim. And he just plays fucking basketball.
Man, he's the dictator. All drugs are legal when you're around him. He can do whatever he wants.
So much coke around him, he doesn't give a shit.
Honestly, the real respects the real. Kim may be the dictator, but he'll never have as many rings as Rodman. That's the fact. It's like that time Putin stole one of Bill Belichick's rings. Did you hear
Or
about that?
when yeah, where you just walked off and the State Department was just like, say it was a gift. Say it was a gift, please.
We can't get it back for you. Just say it was a gift. It'd be a lot more convenient if you said it was a gift. Yeah.
Kick Putin's ass.
I like how Putin on like off the books is richer than Bill Gates.
Yeah. I mean, he basically owns Russia at this point.
Yeah.
The man owns a gigantic like Versailles-sized palace by Sochi, and no one knew about it until like Navalny or his team flew a bunch of drones around it, and now
Like,
no
what
one's
the
heard
fuck
from
is
them.
that? And they're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's Putin's house. It's like, what?
And then Navalny is probably dead, just like the guy who ran against Lukashenko in Belarus was found hung in Kiev because he had the audacity to run against Lukashenko, or the fact that Belarusian sprinter was only given asylum in Poland, and I don't know why the United States hasn't given asylum, because why the fuck do we care about Belarus? She deserves to live in the United States. Give her asylum.
Anyways, back to the Byzantine Empire. Yeah, I mean, the Persians, they were really pushing hard. They were outside
Yeah, they had fucking
Constantinople.
war elephants, dude.
Yeah, dude. They got, like, upgraded town center health,
Yeah. You could Persian boost them.
Yeah.
Byzantines don't got jack shit. All they got are like cheaper spearmen and cheaper skirms. And it's like,
The
okay,
cataphracts are good, but, you got to get a decent amount of them.
you got to get to Imperial Age at that point.
Yeah.
And they're only good in Imperial Age. Like, Castle Age cataphracts aren't that great.
They're pretty cool, though. Cataphracts fuck. Okay.
All right, is that it? Are we good?
I think we got through the whole Korean War. I think our listeners have been educated. I think we learned a lot. We all learned a lot today. I think
If first episode's done, it'll only get worse from here.
if you guys have any questions, be sure to email us or Twitter us or leave a comment or like and subscribe us. I mean, you can basically tell all your friends, the whole history of the Korean War. You can impress your friends. Nobody knows about the Korean War, so you could be like, hey, I know about the Korean War now, Hey, babe, you want to go out?
If you have a grandpa or great grandpa that's like old as shit, you can like say like, something like Task Force Smith or something. You're like, oh, I remember that, and talk about it.
Yeah.
Or if you have a weird dad who reads books about like submarines and shit, he might know about this, and then you can bond with him, and he'll be slightly less disappointed in you because he knows you struck out in T-ball when you were 6 years old, and he has not forgotten.
Honestly, if you're ever on a date, this is real life advice here. I'm gonna get real with you guys. If you're ever on a date, not going
Actually,
well.
where can I put my audio?
Okay, if you're ever on a date, not going well, just drop the Korean War. Like, hey, babe, I know I'm not hitting it off because I, called you fat, but you ever heard of the Korean War?
I'm really sweaty. I have ketchup stains on my shirt, and I haven't showered in 5 days. You want to hear about the Korean War?
So anyways, this guy named Chiang Kai-shek, and he was pretty cool. He killed like 5 million Chinese civilians. He gets it done. You want to fuck?
Or you can ask the best question you can ask on a date, which is you look her dead in the eyes and you go, or him, and be like, if I was a gummy bear, how would you eat me?
Ooh, that's a good one.
With a side of
That's a
salt.
winner.
Yes, it is a winner. You fucking bet. Do it. All right. That's the podcast.
Bye, everyone.